Bear 1 second. All right, we're live. We're live. All right, Shalom. This is the I.S.U.P.K. under commanding General YAHANNA. This is Captain Parasha out of the I.S.U.P.K. And at the I.S.U.P.K, we teach according to the Bible and even secular history, if you want to take it there, that blacks, Hispanics, and Native Indians are the real Israelites, man.
That's right.
In the Bible, everyone hears about these people of God, these people that God loves, these people that God made walk through the Red Sea, and that's us, man. Shalama, Yahweh Shemi Hawashai, Barakah, Amsterdam.
Salam, Yahweh Hashem, Yahweh Shai Barakatam.
Okay, for the class, your microphone. Then when you're gonna say something, you can unmute it and say Salakia. And then if you have any questions or anything, feel free to ask as well.
All right, understand.
I got it. All right. So yes, we are the Israelites, blacks, Hispanics, and Native Indians. Why? Because all throughout time, who the real Israelites are has been a mystery, man. You know what I mean? What in religion they say no one knows who the Israelites are. They're scattered among all nations, which you can say is partly true, but no one never likes to identify them. Do you want to know why? Because they're blacks, Hispanics, and Native Indians, man. Had it have been any other race, everyone would show the world who they are. But when people do their research and find that it's you, all of a sudden the Jews are scattered among all nations. You know what I mean? The Jews, no one knows. You know what I mean? It'll be revealed in some weird way, but no one likes to read Deuteronomy 28, man. No one likes to go in the Bible and find out that the Jews are black. Okay, so for those in the group, if one of you could just lower your mic, I'm hearing myself. Okay, all right. How about now? Much better. All right. That's most sign correct. All right, so it's a mystery, but no one never likes to break down Deuteronomy 28 of the curses the Israelites would receive for not following God's laws. Many people don't like numerous verses in the Bible where the Jews are black. It says it right there, and instead, because it's you, they rather just ignore it, man, and say that black doesn't literally mean black. It meant he was sad, or anything else they come up with. By the ISUPK, we teach that who the black man really is,
Right.
and also we teach who the black man really is, and also what we need to do to uplift ourselves, man. It's one thing to know that the Jews are black, but then what? What do we need to do? And we need to keep God's laws, statutes, and commandments, man. And that's something that no religion can do. That's something no religious philosophy can ever do for us. Many people like to say, yeah, I study this, I study that, but what can it do for you? And it's nothing, man. At the ISUPK, under command of General YAHANNA, we are going to help you, man. You're gonna kick that weed addiction, kick that pornography addiction, and guess what? We're gonna do something that religion can't do for no black man. Do you know what it's called? It's called make Lord be with you. when the Lord's with you, who can beat you? Who can overcome you? Nobody, man. So with that, we're gonna get into the class. In today's class, in America, what's the brother's name? Gregory James, or something like that. The brother that a police officer put his knee on the back of his neck, and basically he took the brother's life, man. You know what I mean? To put your knee on the neck is a dangerous move, man. You know what I mean? I come from a family that they've been doing self-defense for years, and one thing I've always known is you don't put your knee on the back of someone, alone on someone's head. You pull it on their back. Even that way is to hurt someone. But when you put your knee and your shin down their neck on the back of their head, that is death. All the weight you have there, that is death right there, man. You're telling me a police officer that is in his job, he didn't know that. Me from a few family members, I know that, let alone a police officer, all of a sudden, he just doesn't know that. You know what I mean? To put your knee on the back of the neck, that's a death move, man. And that's why at the UPK, we say separation is a must, man.
Right.
Everyone's self-isolating over this coronavirus. We need to self-isolate from the white. We need to self-isolate
right.
from our oppressor. To self-isolate from these police officers. And how do we do it? By not committing no crimes, man? We don't want police in the area no more. Drug dealers gotta stop selling those drugs, man. These gangs gotta stop, man. Gotta stop hating each other. Gotta stop with. And if we do that, guess what, black man? We will self-isolate from, like, what are you doing here? Like, we don't do no crime, so what's this? So what's the van doing around here? What do you want, man? And we can achieve that. We can be so righteous that police wouldn't need to harass us. Police wouldn't feel the need to have to come around and stop and search, stop and trident. All this wouldn't. We loved each other. And here's the thing, because we don't love each other, we give police the leeway to love. Because of the lack of love we have for each other, we give police the opportunity to harass us, even when we haven't done nothing wrong. So what we need to do, be righteous, where a policeman doesn't have the excuse, man. You know what I mean? Yes, police do wrong, but the wrongs we do, it gives them the excuse to do their wrongs.
Come on.
And they're wrong. I'm not justifying police actions. I'm not saying, well, leave the officer alone. Look at all the knife crime, all of the gang crime. No, that policeman is still wrong for what he does. But here's the thing. If we was to live good anyway, he wouldn't have the chance to even do what he does, man.
Come on.
If we was not selling drugs, the policeman wouldn't have that leeway to come in our community and do his wrongs to begin with, man. And that's something we need to understand. Look all over the earth, man. White police officers don't harm, the Arabs. They don't harm the Chinese. Do you want to know why? Because they're not doing things that we're doing, man. Yes, they do their wrongs, but they love each other. And that policeman knows, nah, these people love each other. If I harm one of them, they're going to come down on me like a ton of bricks. Now, you know what? I can't harass that Arab man over there, man. Even though I want to, I just can't do it. But then guess what? He comes into Handsworth. He comes into Brixton. He comes into Croydon. And what does he see? Black people ununified, man.
Come on.
Black hating each other. And he knows, please, man, listen, I'm going to stop that black boy. And guess what? Nobody's going to do nothing, man. All they're going to do is talk nonsense. That's wrong. What he knows, if it was the Arabs, they would surround him. He'll feel scared, like, you know what? For me to do that is risky business, man. But that's the thing. Our lack of love and our lack of unity gives police the strength to do the wrongs that they do. They know, listen, they don't even like each other. I'm gonna do it to one.
Like, why are you talking to me? This isn't me. I didn't
One
do
second.
that. Let me just do it in a math way. Let's take all the emotions out of it.
1 second. No, no sweat. So now, because of our lack of love, police feel strong. Like I'm gonna go in that community, and they hate each other so much. They're not gonna stop me, man. They're so ununified, that they don't even care about their own brother, man. And that's why police feel so strong in what they do. They feel so courageous in what they do. Like it's crazy. And you gotta think about it. Imagine this: as a police officer, you ain't from around this area, and you feel so courageous. Listen, this is what I'm gonna do. I'm gonna go in Handsworth. I'm gonna find a black man that's minding his own business. You know what I mean? Doing what he has to do, and I'm gonna sound the alarm.
I talk about race, but I don't like talking about race because it gets me irate. Because me and my brother used to have a
I'm gonna sound the alarm. I'm gonna tend to go up against the wall. I'm gonna search him, and guess what? I'm gonna do it, and no one ain't gonna say nothing to me. You wanna know why? Because as I drive around, I see how much black people hate each other, man. I know I'm gonna do whatever I want to do, and they're so ununified that they're not gonna stop me anyway. They're not gonna stick up for each other because they hate each other so much, and that's what runs in a police officer's mind. Like, listen, these people hate each other. They think as individuals, like, well, nah, man. If the police is stopping him, he did something wrong. Let me tell you something. In Birmingham, there's Indian communities. When a police officer stops one Indian, all of them surround him to where the policeman feels uncomfortable. Why? Because they love each other. Even if they did it wrong, they're like, nah, I want to see how you're handling. I want to see, what you're gonna do if you're doing your job right, man. And those police officers, they feel uncomfortable. Make sure to do everything right. And if they do one thing wrong, that community comes down on them like a ton of bricks, man.
Right.
Where policemen lose their jobs, policemen actually get sacked. While as with us, we're like, well, most likely he was selling some drugs. That's why it happened, man. Well, come on, what I mean? No one knows the full story, and that's the problems that we face, man. Why? Because of our lack of love, our lack of unity, and what you saw happen there. Those policemen were wrong, and it's evil, man. That is murder. Guess what? Because of our lack of love, the chance to come in the community and even do those things, man. Because of our hate for one another, they get the opportunity to come into the ghetto and do what they do, man. And you got the video for me. You can't. So now, this is a video from a UK comedian. I believe his name is Sir Idman, and he does like a lot of like comedy skits and things like that. But in this video, it's all emotional, man. It has every right to be. You mean personally? I don't think all these jokes are funny, but this is something we can agree on, man. As black people, man. So we're gonna get that. Then I'm gonna break it down as he's reading. I mean, as he's saying what he's saying.
come back irate because me and my brother used to have a war when we was younger.
All right.
And I hit him first. he would have to hit me back. But
Okay.
he couldn't make it.
No sweat. So now it starts off with, I don't like to talk about race. I like to talk about race when you should, man. Look at all over the world. People talk about their issues and they don't care what you think. They don't care if you find it annoying. When they got something to say, they want to be heard. And this is how black people think. You know, I want to talk about race, but I don't talk about race. That's the problem, man. Look, man, with the Jewish Holocaust, damn near, that's almost going 100, man. And he still talks about it. Is he like, I don't want to talk about custom more, you know, it's been 100 years, you know. Like, it might be annoying everyone. No, he doesn't. Why? Because he doesn't care. He's got something he wants to say, and he's going to say it. And here's the problem. Black people don't like to talk about race, even when we should, man. Race is an obvious thing. Oh, Slakia. Amsterdam, if you have a question, you can unmute your mic if you got something. I don't know if you had your hand up.
All right, sir. No. I noticed there was a piece of clothing hanging on the image. That's what I was doing. If I have a question, I will ask you.
Okay, can. Most thank you. Oh, back to it. Oh, okay, no sweat. Yeah. So now, that's the problem. We don't like to talk about race. Look at all over the earth. People have had Holocaust, atrocities, and they talk about it. And here now, black people that have had the biggest Holocaust don't like to talk about race. Problem, man. We're too busy engulfed in what our oppressor thinks. You know, I don't want to talk about that. I don't want to offend him. And how do you know? On your jobs, black people act. You know, listen, man, I'm not getting into that. But listen, no one else, they don't shy away from nothing, man. And here we are shying away from everything. I don't like to talk about race. I mean, I don't want to talk about race. And that's the problem, man. Always shying away from race. And that's the problem that we face as a race of people. And there you go, man. So now he's saying when he does talk about race, he gets irate. And guess what? You should be irate, man. You know, for so many years, what does society try to do? Take away your anger. Do you want to know a fact? A slave can be many things, but a slave cannot be angry.
That's
That's
right.
life, man. As a slave, you can laugh, sing, dance, but nobody ever wants a slave to be angry, man. And that's black people, man. We're in the UK pissed off, but you can't be angry. We're in the UK, you're mean upset and oppressed, but you can't be angry. You gotta smile, man. You gotta laugh. And do you want to know how heavy that is? Even till this day, as a black man, you can't be angry. If you're on your job and you're in a bad mood, what does the manager say to you? You're not smiling. What's got under your skin? And that is slave right there, man. That is slavery. When you as a black man just can't be angry, that is slavery, man. That is oppression. Everyone, they can be angry. They can be in a bad mood. But you, what's wrong with you? Why are you angry? Oh man, you know what I mean? It don't look good when like you're angry. And I've had many jobs, and it's always the same thing. Why ain't you smiling? You're paid to smile. Customers like it when you smile. Like, no, man, I'm not smiling. I'm no idiot. And that's life of us, man. A slave can't be angry. You're allowed to sing. You're allowed to laugh and dance and, you know, do what makes the oppressor feel comfortable, but you can never be angry. And that's what we face in the UK. And with what Sideman said right here is heavy, man. You see racism and you feel angry, but guess what? Why? But with the oppression and the power of the oppressor, he makes sure that you can't be angry, or if you're angry, you're just angry in your house. You're angry out of my sight where I don't see you, but around me, you know what I mean? You must be happy. You gotta sing and dance and make jokes. But anger coming from you, that's unacceptable, man. Are we 12? All right. Yeah, yeah, just play the rest.
Until that happens. If he hit me first, then we wouldn't reach no level of peace, no level of even until I hit him back. Then we can be cool after that.
All right, I
But
started
when
there.
you talk to some,
It's like, so now he's making a heavy point. He's saying that in life, there's vengeance, there's a level of justice in anything. Like the analogy at school, if someone hits you, what makes it right if you hit them back? But with the oppressor that we are under, what's the problem? He's murdering us and we ain't got no justice whatsoever. Now, when I'm saying hitting back, I don't mean take a life of a white person, but shouldn't they get locked up? Shouldn't they face life? Shouldn't they get prosecuted for the crimes that they've done? In life, it's normal. Someone hits you, you hit them back. Someone stole from you, you take him to court, you get your money back. But when it comes to black people and the police, there's no justice. There's no there. There's no okay. Then being black does mean something. But that something wrong happens to us, forget about it, man. It's in the past. You're moaning. All you black people do is just complain.
So, like you sir, one second,
Problem,
I'll
man.
be back in 1 moment.
I can't. Salaki brother. If it's what?
Sulaki, so I think he said he's gonna be back in a moment.
Oh, can't. All right. I am the bar. No, sir. Yeah. So now life, it's always about getting payback, but with black people, we don't get no payback, man. And then, do you want to know what makes it worse? You don't get no payback, and then you can't be angry neither. So you don't get no justice. And on top of that, smile, dance, make me laugh, entertain me, but you can't be angry. And that's black life, man. No wonder so many of us are so angry at each other because life shows us we can't be angry at no one else, man. Yeah, play on.
Some white people about race, they want you to have a level of calmness, a level of peace when you're talking to them. But I find it difficult to do that because they don't understand that I've been hit and get a hit back. That's why I'm not calm. When I see that a man has put his knee on a black man's neck, it feels like I've been hit.
Racism back.
I can't hit institutional racism back. I can't hit white
can't
supremacy back.
hit white supremacy back. So now it just feels like I'm getting hit. And the only thing I can do is just say, please stop hitting me. There's no sense of justice. There's no sense of it being equal. That's why it feels like that. So if you don't understand.
All right. And what he's saying there is heavy.
I talk about.
And that is black life. But here's something that Sidemen doesn't know. In the I.S.U.P.K, we hit back all the time.
That's right.
You see, in the world, that's how you would feel. I don't hit back. Listen, in here, we hit back. Do you want to know how we hit back? We don't have sex with white women, man.
Right.
We love black people. We prefer our own. Over here, we hit back all the time. And do you want to know how we know that we hit back? Because white people are angry, man. Do you know how much calls I get from white people? So I can't join. Like, no, you can't. Oh man, that's bollocks. That's bollocks. Listen, that's hitting back. You got something of your own, man. Listen, the oppressor has the whole earth. And do you want to know what he wants to do? Come in the UPK, man. That's hitting back. Imagine this. An oppressor can go all over the earth. People would worship him. People wouldn't harm him. But he can't come in one place on 394 Lodge Road. His world's tumbling down, man. That's how you fight, man. When you're with your own women, that's how you fight back, man. When you leave Christmas, the church, the Catholic Church alone, that's how you fight back. And that's something that Sidemen doesn't know. In the world, because people have sex with white women, people in the church celebrating Christmas, you would feel like you can't fight back. You would feel like I'm serving you and all you're doing is killing me. Like I can't fight back. When we fight back every day under commanding General Yohanna, man.
That's
We
right.
do it all the time. Every general, captain, officer, trooper, and the sisters.
Salaki had the one, your mic's muted.
Who's against him, and we don't even physically fight, man. Like, I'll be on some job, people look at me and know I'm not for white people. Like, they just know, they sense it. Like, you're not one of those. And then the one that does, they suck up to him, and guess what? He's laughing and joking and being a clown for them. You know what I mean? We fight, and it's not even a physical fight, man. People know who's with the oppressor and who's not by your demeanor, by how you conduct yourself, man. By, guess what? Being angry. An oppressor doesn't like an angry black man. I mean, he likes it when you're singing, when you're dancing, when you're under slavery with all these jokes. But when you're serious, like, yo, this one, man, this one's a fighter. This one fights back. They hate that, man. And the oppressor hates that, man. Give me 2 Corinthians 10:4.
Come on.
Yeah, 2 Corinthians 10:4, man, about he can't fight back. Says who, man? Says what? Says where? Over here, we fight back every day, man. At camp, we fight back. In class, we fight back. When we get black people off drugs, we fight back, man.
Right.
When we fix black families, we fight back. When we stop gang crime, knife crime, black on black, we fight back every day, man.
That's right.
Now, he can't fight back. Yes, we fight back every day, man. Got it for me, 2 Corinthians 10:4.
Come on. Second Corinthians 10 and verse 4. For the weapons of our warfare are not carnal, but mighty
What did the Bible
through
say?
God. For the weapons of our warfare are not carnal.
There's some meaning. The weapons of the warfare we are in, they're not carnal. It's not a carnal thing. What does it mean? Fleshly, man. If someone has a carnal side, it's the fleshly side, meaning
Right.
the weapons of this warfare, it's not carnal, man. That's why when it comes to side, that's why the way he feels, because he doesn't know this fight is not a physical fight. Yes, black people physically fight, physically die, but we fight them in another way, man. We fight them with the power of the Lord, man.
Right.
We fight. Go listen. Okay, then
Oh.
your race kills someone of mine. I'm never touching a white woman ever again, man. That's my fight.
That's right.
Your ancestors had mine oppressed for 400 years. For that, I wouldn't even look on a white woman. And that's a fight. Your ancestors like, what? You don't look me. You ain't serving me. That's a war right there, man. That's how you fight. You know what? Your people oppress mine. I'm never setting foot in an oppressor's shop ever again, man. I'm gonna build up that
Right.
black shop. I'm gonna go in there and buy everything I can get, man. Nah, man. You know what I mean? I'm being oppressed on the job. You know what? I'm gonna work for a black company, man. I'm gonna help a black business. The weapons of our warfare, it's not carnal. It's not about guns and knives and let's get the police. We don't encourage that at all, man. The weapons of our warfare is the spiritual fight. Your spirit, what you stand for, who you're gonna serve, what you're gonna do, what commandments are you going to keep? That's our warfare, man. And that's something we need to understand, man. And it's sad when black people die. You know what I mean? Using all over the earth, it's sad when any black person dies. But guess what? We need to do the right thing. And what is the right thing? Serve the Lord, man. In the
Right.
Bible, it says, I will be an enemy unto your enemies. Do you know what that means? You know what I mean? In religion, they read that verse saying, I'll be an enemy unto your enemies. Do you know what that really means? Meaning, when a racist police officer who is our enemy tries to harm us, that racist police officer is an enemy of God, man. Gotta give him AIDS, gotta give him cancer for even harming a black man. That's
Right.
what it means, man. That police officer harassing black people. That police officer is an enemy of God, man. And believe me, anyone who's an enemy of God, they're in trouble, man.
That's right.
Look at the Egyptians. Ask the Egyptians, man. They were enemies of God, and look at them in the Sudan putting mud on their face, man.
God.
Look at Italy, man. Italy was from what empire? Rome. And guess what? They're enemies of God. And look at Rome now, man. Coronavirus capital, man. Dying at innumerous rates, man.
Sir, if I may.
Anyone that's an enemy of God. Kanye, go ahead.
I wanted to add something on the police story. So, like, I want what I wanted to add is like it is for people, like mostly like the young generation, for them to see like where the true problem with the police lie. So like, and there is like when the police is using their power to also help the government empower their laws and such things like that. And your problem with them should lie really on that point, and not on the point like because the police arrest you because you robbed the store. You understand? You agree with me on that?
Well, to some degree. Now, of course, the police officer, he's doing the job, hands down. But now, the problem lies with what they think of us. Now,
Yes, that also.
One second, brother. Police look at every other race's life as a life. But the issue is they don't look at black life as a life, where they feel so strong, like I'm gonna come in the area, I'm gonna harass them. There is a difference, and the difference is one nation's life is viewed as a life. Like, I can't do that to them, I can't harm them. You know what? I can't do them wrong. I'm hurting them. And then a black life, that's not a life. He doesn't matter. She doesn't matter. And that's the problem. It's how they look at us. And why do they look at it? Why do they look at us that way? Because we look at ourselves that way. We treat each other that way. And if we want to love each other,
yes,
and value our life, then a policeman, he would value our life and go, nah, I can't harm these people. They love each other. I can't do that to them. And that's the core of it. Of course it does. Of course it does deviate into other things. But it first starts with us, man, and how we deal with each other. Yeah, brother.
Yes, I understand totally what you mean. But that is not what I was saying, because that is also a important point of it. But what I wanted to add is like awareness to like the young generation, because they grew up and they just understand that the police is not okay. You know, even I grew up. I know you don't supposed to be a cop, you don't like the cop and things like that, and all of that I understand. That was because they gonna lock you up if you do something wrong, you understand. And that's why I wanted to add on the point on what you were saying, so the rest of us be aware that the problem with the police is not because he can put you in jail because you're doing wrong, but if you have a problem with the police, it should be because the police can use their power to empower the wrong things the government is doing with you. You understand what I'm saying, sir?
Yeah.
That's what I wanted to add.
Kanye, I got most sign Christ. Yeah, as what it's saying, you know, now, you know, every time the police harass us, what does everyone think? He done something wrong. When we're meant to be so righteous, people should look at like, what are you doing, man? You should look at the police officer like he's in the wrong, man. And that's what we need to achieve in the UPK, man.
Right.
We need to be in the highways and the byways everywhere, Amsterdam, the UK, America, to where when a police officer comes to a black man, the black man like, what's he done wrong? What's he stole? What drugs has he got? Everyone looks at the police officer like, what wrongs are you doing, man? These people don't do wrong. So clearly you're being told by someone to do something wrong to these people. And that's what the brother was saying, man. From young, everyone knew to be a police officer, it just wasn't right, man. Knowing what police officers do to black people, to be a part of that is wrong, man. You are joining, like, being a police officer is like joining the KKK, man. Being a police officer is like joining the NF's English Defense League,
Right.
Britain First, you know what I mean? Police officer is like the equivalent of joining a white hate group, man.
That's right.
You mean they're not for the embetterment of black people at all. But here's the thing: if we was to love her, then police officers would think twice because they see us in the ghetto. All right, imagine this: a police officer, he gets a call in the ghettos every day. There's a fight, drug dealing, black on black crime, drugs being sold, another fight, knife crime. So what does this police officer think, man? Damn, these people hate each other. If they don't value themselves, then damn, it gives me the opportunity to do what I want to do. It gives me the floor to harm them. Why? Because these people don't care. So why should I care? Why should I care when I'm breaking his arm, when I'm trying to put on them handcuffs? You know what I mean? And that's the problem, man. We have to love each other. We have to care. And it will make that police officer think twice before he even harms us, man.
Right.
You know what I mean? So read on in 2 Corinthians 10:4.
Colonel God, the weapons of our warfare are not carnal, but mighty through God to the pulling down of strongholds.
And there you go, man. With the Lord, it can pull down strongholds, man. What is the stronghold in the black community? Religion, man.
Right.
What's the stronghold in the black community? Police harassing us, police harming us, man, brutalizing us. And if we serve the Lord, we can tear down these strongholds, man. Like,
that's right.
Growing up in the Midlands, it was normal for police just to harass black people. Like, everyone knew it. Like, here come police again. Yeah, excuse me, guys. You know, there's been a report of a crime. Hands up. Go against the wall. You ain't got drugs on you. In the ghetto, that is a stronghold where it's normal to be harassed. It's normal, like, yeah, police want to stop and search, stop and frisk. Like, it's the norm. No one even finds it strange. We complain, but mentally, it's the norm. Like, you know, again. You know what I mean? In the world, I had a friend, it got stopped 3 times in one day. Straight up. 3 times in one day, and that was the norm, man. Showing us that this right here is a stronghold upon oppressing black people. And if we serve the Lord and we, you know what I mean, fight this fight how we're meant to fight, we can pull down all strongholds, man.
Right.
We can pull down harassment. We can, man, to where instead of society looking at us, they look at the police like, listen, that policeman's right. You're harassing the righteous people, man. You're harassing the people that don't sell drugs, don't kill each other. Leave them alone, man. Instead, the camera and the eyes of the world would be facing him. That's the problem. Instead, what happens? We die by the hands of the police. And what happens? All the eyes are facing. Has Hanger now, the person that's dead, your eyes are facing him. He must have done something wrong. And then what did they do? They look at, you know, some of his history. Well, in the past, you know, he stole from a shop. So that means he deserved to die.
Right.
You know what I mean? They love to do Mark Duggan. You know, he was part of the Tottenham Mandem, which he wasn't by, you know what I mean? Which he wasn't, by the way. But, you know, you would use something to try and say, well, the police had a reason to shoot this man, this unarmed black man. That's the problem, man. The world always has their eyes on us and not the police. The world has it fixated that you do wrong, but a police officer never does wrong, man. You're this evil black beast, but this police officer, he's just so upright, so law-abiding, and no, he's not, man.
Right.
Police officers break the most laws.
Right.
Police officers stop and search, and a crime hasn't even been committed. Who knows that? Do you know? For you to stop and search someone, you need to tell them why you're doing it. You can't just stop and search someone for no reason. You gotta go, I'm searching because a crime has been committed of a theft, and you know, you fit the description.
Right.
Or you know, someone of your height. So it's nothing against you, it's just a search. Black people in the UK get stopped and searched, and you don't even get told of your reason why. You're asking them, what is the crime? What is the crime? What is the crime? And they're just like, we gotta search you, we gotta search you. That is an illegal search.
That's right.
Right.
That is an offense. That is an offense by England's own law. You gotta let me know why this search is even taking. What happened? Does the description match mine? He has to let you know by law. He has to let you know the guy was 5'7", black male. Then, of course, no one likes to be searched, but at least he told you why. They don't. They just want to stop and search you. And even by England's own law, that is an illegal stop and search. That is a crime. But guess what? They get away with it, man. Why? Because of our lack of love for each other, man.
That's right.
Because of how we don't love each other, that's why they get this leeway, and they should not get it, man. They're doing wrong, but guess what? We need to do right.
That's right.
They're doing wrong, but if we do right, a police wouldn't even come in the ghetto. As racist as he is, he would think twice.
Go on.
As much as he hates people, he would think twice before he comes into my side, in Birmingham, in Croydon, comes up in the ghettos of Amsterdam. He will think twice, man. Read on.
Come. Casting down imaginations and every high thing that exalted itself against the knowledge of our power.
And there you go, man. Casting down imaginations. Every time black people get brutalized by the police, everyone's got an imagination. You know, you got people, well, no one knows what really happened. No one ain't seen the full video. That doesn't mean anything, man. As a police officer, It's your job to apprehend somebody,
Right.
regardless of what they did. You don't kill nobody. That is irrelevant. That is nonsense, man. Your
That's
job
right.
is to detain that person. Your job is to apprehend him and take him to the police station, make him go to court. That's your job, regardless of what they did. That's an excuse.
Right.
Well, no one knows. Maybe he was resisting. So what, man? Police restrain you. They don't kill you, man. That's irrelevant, and that's the point of the class. We don't need to self-isolate from COVID-19. We need to self-isolate from our oppressor, man.
That's right.
Right.
Self-isolate from the police, from living righteous, man.
God.
That's what we do need. Instead of, face masks and all that stuff. We need to live upright. We need to live righteous, man. You mean read on?
God exalts itself against our power, the knowledge of our power, and bring it into captivity every thought to obedience of Christ.
And then, man, bring every thought into the obedience of Christ, man. If everyone was to obey Christ, we would have answers. And like what the brother said on the video, which is wrong, he can't fight back. If his mind was obeying Christ, he would know how to fight back.
Right.
His mind was subject unto the obedience of Christ, he would know how to fight back. But that's the problem. When anyone is in the world, you feel like you're not fighting back. You feel like you are defenseless when we have a God of heaven and earth and he fights back, man. Look at COVID-19, man. That's the Lord fighting back. Look at all the plagues, the famine. That's the Lord fighting back for a people that can't fight back for themselves, man. That's what God does. That's what God does. Now, there's a book. I didn't bring it with me for time's sake. I was in a rush, driving all over the UK. I went to Croydon as well. I was down there too. Yeah, up in Croydon, went North London. Everywhere. Believe me, long day. But there was a book I got. You can buy the book. I'm sure it's like £6. It was written by a female police officer. The book is called Behind the Uniform, and I believe she works in Southeast London. So she was over there, and the book has the title Behind the Uniform. Then the subtitle is The People We Call to Protect Us, We Actually Need Protecting From. So even this female police officers, like, police officers don't protect us. In our mind, we believe police officers protect us, when the truth is we need someone to protect us from the police.
Right.
And who is that? The Lord. The Lord, he will protect us from the police. We all think, nah, man, we need the police to protect us, when the truth is we need the Lord to protect us from the police. Now, in the book, she's talking about her experience while in the police force, and she gives a few accounts of how racist the police force can be. And this is why we need to be righteous. She said when police officers want to stop a black person, they always say, I can smell weed, even when they can't, man. That is a policeman's excuse to stop black people. You know what I mean? If you're driving a nice car and is jealous, what's the excuse? I can smell weed. Yeah, you gotta just stop. You know what I mean? I gotta search your car. I gotta search you. That is their excuse to search black people, even when they clearly and obviously don't smell weed. That is their excuse. I can smell weed. She admitted it. She goes, that is an excuse. That common excuse that black people hear all the time. I smell weed. That's why I have to search you. She goes, it's a lie. It's something police always say for their justification to harass black people. She said it. She goes, in the book that there was some young boys, they're about 15, and the police officer who she was with, he stopped all of them, had them up against the wall, searched them, and she goes, it made her feel bad. Like, what are we doing? You know what I mean? We know these boys ain't even done nothing, and we're just doing it just to burn time. It's in the book. I'm not making it up. And the book is called Behind the Uniform, and the author is Helen Elizabeth. You know, you can buy it on Amazon. And you know, she experienced, I believe, it was like 5 years in the UK police force, and she had to leave. Well, you know, of course, there's other reasons, but she said it's clearly a racist police force, man. Then her other officer, Salakia, someone's got something.
No, I was saying another one.
Oh, can't also. Yeah. Then she gives another example. Her officer who she would drive with, he always used to like do this like sniper analogy, because before he was a police officer, he was in the army. So she'll be driving and he'd be, you know, like he'd be like acting like he had a rifle in his hand. So she always asked me like, why are you doing it? No reason. The one day goes, yeah, I've sniped this black B. You know what I mean? Like I've sniped this. You know what I mean? Offensive word for the show. Just like you can't say that. It's like, yes, I can. These niggas. So police are racist, and society makes it look like police protect and serve, when the truth is they protect and serve only a certain race.
Right.
You know, they harass and abuse a certain race, and that is the truth of life, man. That's something that people don't like to admit, but you know, that's a book that you can get. You know what I mean? From there, give me Baruch 4 and find the verse. Baruch 4, 1 second.
1:8.
Second, the prayer of the dead Israelites. It might be Baruch 3. All right, matter of fact, start from Baruch 3.
Yeah, to Zapon, if you got it.
I've got it, yeah. Go on.
Yeah, if you got it. Yeah, if you got it.
All right, Baruch 3 and 5.
5, go on. Baruch chapter 3, verse 5. Remember not the iniquities of our forefathers, but think upon
There you
thy
go, man. Also, remember not the iniquity of our forefathers, meaning the reason why we suffer, the way we die, how we do, is because of sin, man.
Right.
You know, you got always wondering why, and I'm not trying to justify the police officer, because I know what someone's thinking. You're trying to blame us, but do we have some blame in our lifestyles? Yes, we do.
Go on.
But is that police officer going to get what he's from the Lord? Yes, he is too, man.
That's right.
But guess what? We are suffering for the sins that our forefathers have done, man.
Right.
Being in the church in times past, worshiping Baal, worshiping Olek, and we're paying for it right now, man.
Mm-hmm.
You know what I mean? The Bible is the answer. You know,
That's
people
right.
always got these philosophies, you know, while it is right. See, as black people, we ain't got no economy. That's why police kill us. Listen, money ain't the reason why we die, man.
Right.
There's rich people that get harassed by the police, man. Ian Wright, he's been harassed by the police also as well, man. When I was doing my apprenticeship in construction years ago, the guy who was, the apprentice, no, I'm the apprentice. But the guy that was learning me, I don't know if he's the apprentice or apprentice. You know what I mean? He's a wealthy black man, got houses in Jamaica, houses all over the UK. And he told me police harass him all the time because he lives in a white area. Money ain't the issue, man.
Right.
It's because of this our forefathers. That's the problem. It ain't got
That's
nothing
right.
to do with black people being economic power. You know what I mean? It's got nothing to do with that, man.
No.
It's with us. You know what I mean? It's with us seeking the mercy of the Lord, man.
That's right.
Read on.
Another one can't. Remember not the iniquity of thy forefathers, but think upon thy power and thy name now at this time.
God.
And there, man, think upon thy hour and thy name for this time, meaning, Lord, please, man. You know what I mean? Don't think about what we've done in the past. Think about your minds. Think about how you can save us, Lord. Please, you know what I mean? Please, the iniquities that, we've done, you know what I mean? We died and come back. Please, just remember your power, Lord, man.
That's
And
right.
that's what we need to know, man. That the Lord, he can save, but we need to be on his right side. Everyone always talks about God bless me. Listen, you got to earn a blessing, man.
That's right.
You got to earn salvation. In the church, they have you believe it just happens. You prayed long enough. Nah, man. You got to earn it. You got to please the Lord so much. The angels in heaven, they're like, Lord, please, man, just let him have it, man. Please. Say, help him. He's doing everything. Come on, please, Lord. Please. To the Lord's like, you know what? Okay. He's earned it, man. That's how it works. It don't happen by a song and a dance. You gotta earn salvation. We gotta earn blessings. And also, you want to know something too? We gotta earn the protection of the Lord too, man, from the police. We gotta earn it, man. Read on.
Another one can. For thou art the Lord our God, and thee, O Lord, will we praise.
Read on.
And for this cause thou hast put thy fear in our hearts, to the intent that we should call upon thy name and praise thee.
And there you go. No, so that's why the Lord put the fear in our hearts, man. In the UK, black people scared of what? The police. Now, think about it. Scared of those that are meant to help you. Only the Lord can do something like that. Where the people that are meant to serve and uphold the law, we are afraid of, because we know they are against us, man.
Right.
We know they're we know they're biased. We know that justice isn't dealt with. And that's the fear, man. And why is this fear even around? So that we would serve the Lord. That we would be so scared, like, I don't like this world, I'm going to serve God. No, surely there's more to life than this. I'm scared, man. As a black man, can't leave my house without police stopping me, without police harassing and following your car. And then when you park in and see that you're not doing nothing wrong, they just drive off. That's happened to me. I've been driving and police car just whizzing behind me. I go in the left lane, the car goes in the left lane. I go in the right lane, the police car just behind you like some Hollywood film. You know what I mean? And then guess what? When you stop outside your house and you go in your door, it's looking like, oh, he wasn't doing nothing wrong, and just goes off, man. That is the Lord putting fear in us that, listen, serve me, man. This world has nothing to offer us. Many times I get, and what do people always say? I want to join the UPK, but I'm scared of this. I'm scared of that. Well, listen to this. You're scared That's why you're meant to come into the ISUPK.
Right.
If you got fear, that's why you're meant to be in here, man. So you can shake that fear off you. But otherwise, in the world, you're going to get afraid daily, man. You know what I mean? Police killing black people daily, man. Police
Right.
breaking arms when they're arresting them daily. You're doing the wrong thing. Your fear is meant to bring you here, not make you stay in the world. That's all.
Yeah, like if you're scared, I'll be in the ISUPK. That's good for easy. Like if you're broke, you don't remain broke. You go there, get a job. You're survive, bro.
That's right.
And you're scared. That's why you should be in there. But you're gonna stay there, should be scared.
That's right. You know,
Yeah, don't be scared.
that's right. As what the officer said, man. If you're afraid, that's why you're meant to be here. Like anything in life, if you're not rich or you know what I mean, you're in debt, then what do you need to do? Work. So you pay off the debt. You have to jump in it to get the result. And if you're scared, you need to come in here to beat that fear. It's life, man.
Right.
If you're weak, you can't go, I'm weak, so I'm not gonna do nothing. You're weak. What do, man? You go to the gym, you learn
That's
some
right.
judo, you learn some. You fight the weakness. You don't be afraid and go, I'm scared, but I'm not gonna fight. I'm gonna just remain scared. You go in that gym like, listen, every minute I'm fighting that fear, man. You do it for a month, a year, to one day you're not afraid, man. You've been wrestling, doing Thai boxing so much. You wish someone was, you know what I mean, want to fight, man. You know what I mean? You become the opposite. You don't be scared and then stay scared. You fight that fear. And how does anyone fight it? By coming through these doors, man. 394 Lodge Road,
That's
postcode
right.
B18,
Yeah.
EW, man. That's how you fight it, man. I'm getting calls. You want my job, man? I'm a boss. And listen, man, you can't lose your job for what you believe. That is nonsense, man. Tommy Robinson has a job in Hyde Park. There's people that are part of like Britain First, EDL, and they work and they even tell you what to do, man. They're laborers, work on construction sites. Nobody can sack you from what you believe. It's only a crime when you teach on the job. You can't listen. Listen. My boss manager, he could watch this right now, and he can't do nothing, man.
That's
He
right.
may not like me, but he can't do nothing because it's my personal beliefs.
I'm right.
In England, personal beliefs.
God.
You can't stop me. I'm not at the job beating up white people. I'm not running them over with the 18-ton HGV that I drive. I come there, I am do what I do, and I go home. I ain't offended nobody. I ain't racially abused no one. So what's the
That's
problem?
right.
What's the problem? You know what I mean? And that's life. People gotta stop being scared because my job. Listen, man. McDonald's doesn't care about you being in the ISUPK, man.
Right.
KFC don't care about you being in the ISUPK, man.
That's right.
You mean many people talk about my job. When you find out what they're even doing, job ain't even great anyway, man. So what's the problem, man? You're allowing fear to rule over you.
That's right.
Reader.
Another one, God, to the intent that we should call upon thy name and praise thee in our captivity. For we have called to mind all the iniquity of our forefathers that sinned before thee. For we have called to mind all the iniquity of our forefathers that sinned before thee.
And there you go, man. In England, we're meant to call to mind all the iniquity of our forefathers right here,
That's
man.
right.
We're meant to go, damn, I'm an Israelite. My people were the people that lived this book.
That's
My
right.
people were the people that lived out Kings, Chronicles, Isaiah. We were sinful. You are meant to call it to mind and go, I can't live like that. We've been a nation that has always just rebelled against our God, man.
God.
You know what? How about we follow our God? And with following our God, police wouldn't be brutalizing us the way they do, man.
Right.
Right.
following our God. With following our God, you know what I mean? The ghetto would be the kingdom of heaven, man.
God.
If following our God, it would mean police wouldn't harass us, man. Police, they will think twice, like, nah, man, them people live good. If I stop him, everyone's gonna look at me like, what you doing? Why you stopping him for, man? Those people follow righteous laws in that Bible. What are you doing, officer? And guess what? The policeman would have to run, man. But instead,
Right.
we do wrong and we give the police an excuse to do wrong. We
That's
give them
right.
an excuse like, well, it could have been a drug dealer. Who knows? It could have been aggressive. Who knows? By our sins and us hating each other, we give evil police officers the excuse to even do their wrongs. They're like, well, I'm in the ghetto. You know how the crime is. And then what did they do? They pull out the sheet. There's been all these knife crimes, so I'm here for a reason. When if we
Right.
live righteous, they wouldn't have no reason, man. A policeman wouldn't have no reason to be in Mossad, to be in Croydon, to be in Amsterdam harassing black people, man.
That's
To be
right.
in Rotterdam harassing black people. Read on.
Another one, God. Behold, we are yet this day in our captivity, where thou hast scattered us for a reproach.
And behold, we are yet day in our captivity, meaning even till this day, we are still enslaved, man.
Right.
How do you know we are enslaved? Because we're not allowed to be angry. Slaves ain't allowed to be angry. Why? Because they might rebel.
God.
You know, as a slave, you're allowed to entertain, you're allowed to sing, you're allowed to dance. But anger, that's insane, man. Like a slave is not allowed to be angry. And look at life in England. When you're angry, what do white people say? Smile. What's wrong with you, man? Cheer up. When a white man's angry, oh, it isn't a bad mood, Rob. You know, just let him be. But when you're angry, you must smile. You must cheer up, man. Why?
Right.
Because we are, and we are yet this day in our slavery,
God.
where you being angry is a no-no, man. A slave can't be angry because that's why? Because he might rebel. That's a rebellious slave. Anger is a sign of what? Rebellion.
Right.
That's why. I mean, I don't know if any of you like can relate. You know, you can let me know when you're at your slaveries and you're not smiling. It's like they want you to smile. It's like for you to smile makes them feel comfortable.
Right.
Like you can't agree. Why? Because you're rebellious. They're like, nah, man, this guy might be part of the uprising. We can't have him angry.
Yeah.
That's a rebel right there. Black man not smiling, that's a rebel. And that's why
Okay.
they try to force it into you to smile, man.
Right.
Smile, man. When I used to do like restaurants and catering back in the day, they would it's like they damn near want you to smile by any means. Smile first, and when you don't, they start to get angry with you. We do pay to smile, you know, it's part of your job, and I'm still not smiling, man. You mean that's a rebel? A black man not smiling, that's a rebel right there. And no slave master wants a rebel, and that's the problem. Read on.
Another one, God. Where behold, we are yet this day in our captivity, where thou hast scattered us for a reproach and a curse, and to be subject to payment.
And I think a reproach. Does anyone know what the word reproach means?
So like it's like a burden.
Dictionary. You're close.
Punishment.
No, that's not a reproach.
Go on.
So like it's
dictionary.
I got Google right here. Yeah, I got
Oh, so, oh, okay, one second.
yeah, Khan. It says to express someone or one's disapproval or disappointment.
There. So now, remember now, the Bible says because we're not following God, we got fear, we're cursed, and we are a reproach, meaning to everyone else, we're people that are just disapproved. Like them people, I wouldn't mess with them. They're nothing but drug dealers. They're just bad people.
Right. Hated.
God said this would happen to us. In England, we're people that are reproached, man. People that that police killed Mark Duggan. Look, he was a drug dealer. He had a bad reputation. He was disapproved, and that's the problem. We need to get that reproach off us. So when a police officer does do wrong, which they always do, our reputation is good. People go, nah, they don't do crime. So officer, what was you doing, man? Why was you there? Why was you following his car? Instead of we got the reproach, and they're like, well, who knows? You could have been drug dealing. You could have had a gun in the car. Well, Mark Duggan was a part of a gang. We need to get that reproach off us. And how do we do it? By living righteous, man.
That's right.
Amsterdam, you had something.
No, I wanted to answer about the reproach, but he answered it already.
That's right, man. It's good to hand, man. So you had it, Rich, good, man. You got it, man. I'm sure God well. Yeah, man. So, you know, that's a reproach right there, man.
God.
Meaning people that you disapprove like them. I don't know about that. And you know what's funny? This is how you know we are the Israelites. Everyone disapproves us, regardless of what injustice is done to us. What do people do? Put the eyes back on you. Yeah, but no one knows what you were doing. Yeah, but you know,
Yes, sir. Other one.
Yeah, I think he's frozen.
Yeah. Frozen it.
Oh, yeah, he cut off. Yeah. All right.
I hear you.
Just stand back. Just stand back.
Yeah.
All right.
Gone.
But yeah, like the other one's bringing out, man. You know what I mean? That's to bring it out. Read that precept again. Read that precept again, please. To start one about the reproach.
Yeah, the reproach. Hold on 1 second, Slakia. Oh, right. Behold, we are yet this day in our captivity, where thou hast scattered us for a reproach.
So that the other one's bringing out. You know what I mean? For reproach or disapproval. When the other nations look at us, they look at us and they already have this pre-assumed idea about us. You understand? They already have this pre-assumed idea about us, about how, you know, we're drug dealers, we're thieves, we're pimps, we're whores. You know what I mean? That's the reproach that must have put on us, because we don't serve the Lord in this captivity. You understand? We don't serve the Lord. That's our point. If you could you just message the other one, see what's happening on Slack?
I'm on the phone in it though, because I'm on the phone.
Con. All right. Let me see. So.
Go on. Well, continue explaining. Are you finished? You finished?
No. Yeah. So like I was bringing up, man. Like the other one's bringing up. You know, we brought it for reproach. Read on.
Go on. For reproach and a curse. and to be subject to payments.
Subject to payments meaning what? Just like in ancient times, just like today. We don't mean we're still subject to payment. We still pay the taxes. We still pay taxes to this empire. You understand? We still pay taxes to these other nations. We still pay tribute to them in one way, form, or fashion. Khan. Shalom, brother one. Yeah, you.
All right, that's 12, man. We're back in the game.
Okay.
Right, man. So yeah, you know, like I was saying, it was slavery about 5 years ago, man. In America, you know, black people were dying by the hands of the police, badly, like relentless, man. Then this Edomite's like, well, you know, let's be honest, you know, they're provoking their police. Imagine, you know, a policeman and a car driving past with loud rap music saying F the police. So I had to turn to him like, so that's a reason why they should die. Then he kind of tried to backtrack. No, but you know, it doesn't help. I go, that's irrelevant. Regardless of what's coming out of someone's car, no one deserves to die, man.
Right.
A policeman's job is to arrest somebody, not kill him. And
that's right.
That showed me that people don't look at black life as a life. That what he said is stupid. It doesn't make sense. Someone deserves to die because their music's loud and aggressive, and he can't stand this. But here's the thing: when black life ain't seen as a life, then that does make sense. And you can look at someone who's black and think, you're nobody. Then in his mind, that does mean something. Where that makes sense. Well, you know, they're playing loud rap music. They're aggravating that police officer. And that's the problem, man. The reason why these nations don't look at black life as a life is because we don't look at black as a life.
That's right.
When we kill each other, when we abuse each other, they think they can do it too, man. They think, well, they don't care about each other. I might as well do it too. And that's the problem. When we love each other, like, okay, look at every other race. It doesn't even come to your mind, can you do something wrong to them? You already know. And how do you know? By how they treat each other. You know, now, if I come into Indian area and I start robbing, all of them are going to come down on me like a ton of bricks, man.
That's
Why?
right.
Because now, no one didn't have to say that to you. By how they treat each other, by how they deal with each other and the love, you know, if I harm one, I better be ready to harm. If one messes with me, I better be ready to fight them all. We know that. No one had to say it to you. You know by how they live. And likewise, people see how black people live and know there's no unity with them, man. You know what I mean? We're going to beat up one of them, man. Listen, they're individuals. They're not going to go, nah, that's my black brother right there, man. I'm going to find out what's going on. I'm going to go over there like, well, instead, we record it and laugh, man. Oh, they beat him up, man. Oh, gosh, that was funny. And that's the problem, man. And by how we live, that policeman is wrong, but by how we live, we give leeway for stuff like that.
Right.
We give them that little gap for them to do their wrongs while it was tighten it in love. That would never happen, man.
Khan.
Read on.
Khan. For a reproach and a curse, and to be subject to payment according to all the iniquities, and to be subject to payment.
And to be subject unto payment, man. That's black people right there. Bills, man. Subject unto payment, man. You know what I mean? That's black life, man.
Right.
Everything, this money trouble, that money trouble. There's even a song about that in it, like an old reggae song. Like everywhere I go, the money troubles. You know what I mean? That is black life. And that's in the Bible, man. Money trouble. You know what I mean? That's in the Bible. A nation of people that are reproached, hated, and be subject to payment, man.
Right.
Always in debt. You know what I mean? You're doing that. Us as black people, and you can research it. You know what I mean? In the UK, we are in some of the most debt. You know, yes, white people rack up debt, but what do? They file saying that they're bankrupt. While as us, You know what I mean? We know the law like that. We don't know the loopholes, and we are a nation of people subject to payment, man. You know what I mean? We're in our overdraft, credit card maxed. Damn, you know what I mean? Anything that is subject to payment, man. If you owe the bank money every month, that's subject to payment, man. Every time your credit card wants a payment every month, that's subject to payment, man. And that's the children of Israel.
That's right.
Always subject to payment, man.
Mm.
You know what I mean? When it comes to our oppressor, he'll max out a card and get away with it, man. You know what I mean? I've got shows where some of them are in debt and they're not paying back nothing. They're telling the bailiff, listen, you're not coming in my house and I'm not giving you no down payment, man. No chance. And on top of that, they're making even more debt. While as us, you know what I mean? We're subject to pay. We must pay, man. You know what I mean? What's that show on 5? If you can't pay, we
take it away.
Take it away. And the bailiffs, I watch one. The bailiff come to his house, and the guy knew what he was doing. He put everything in his wife's name, so that obviously the debt is in his name. He's like, listen, that's my wife's car, that's my wife's house. And then so he calls the man. He's like, yeah, I know. I'm in debt. I'm going to the bank tomorrow. I'm gonna say that I'm bankrupt. He said it as calm as that. Yeah. The bank tomorrow. I'm a file for bankruptcy. If you file for that, all your debts go away. And he said it so calm, man. Even the bailiff is like, it's sad what the law allows people to even do, where they can rack up debt and just know, well, I'll just file for bank and I'm free. I can rack up hundreds of grand of debt, go to the bank, listen, I can't pay for all this, and literally get away with it. Now, as black people, can you do that? No, you can't. You can't file for bankruptcy at all, man. You mean they wouldn't allow it to be like, listen, man, you owe all this money. You knew what you were doing. While as white people, they can go in the bank, rack up debts, loans, and just go, I'm bankrupt. I just can't pay it. And then the bank pays it off, and then you know what I mean? Guess what? They open up a new account, and then in 5 years' time, do it all again. We are the people that are subject to payment, man. Read on.
Another one can. According to all the iniquities of our fathers, which departed from the Lord our God.
And there you go. All this happened because we departed from the Lord our God, man. That step we did there, we're paying for it now, man. It's like a crafty read on. It's gonna be.
God, which departed from the Lord our God. Hear, Israel, the commandments of life. Give ear to understanding, wisdom.
And to that part, did you say here, Israel, give ear to the commandment of life? Meaning, if you want to live, this is how you live. The commandment of life, the laws that God gives us, they make us live, man. And we've been choosing the commandment of. We've been listening to our oppressors. To smoke weed is death. To listen to the white man's philosophy, these are the things that let us die.
That's right.
Religion, these are the things that make us die, man. But in the Bible, is the commandment of life. If we love our brother, we live, man. At least man could ever kill our brother. Why? We love each other, man. We don't commit. Black and black crime wouldn't exist. Black men would be able to live, man. Black men wouldn't die of AIDS. There would be no AIDS if the commandments of life Bible make us live. They don't make us die, man. For too long, we listen to the philosophy of our oppressors, and their commandments make us die. Their philosophies make us die. They teach us to hate each other, which makes us die. They tell us to take drugs and be happy and just live life, explore life, and these things make us die. They bring single homes, they bring addicts, they bring women wars, they give women AIDS. All those things make us die, man. But in the Bible, the commandment gives us life. It gives us the opposite from what the oppressor gives us.
That's right, man. What the officer says heavy, give that a hand. That's it for me. Yeah, like, as you're saying, in this Bible, it's the law of life. And if we don't want to die by the hands of the police, we got to take hold to that law of life.
That's right.
You know, there is a fight, and the fight is within our South, man.
Right.
Just listen, police are for what to do, and God's gonna pay them back. I'm not saying it's all our fault. That's why the police do it and it's right. No, God's gonna avenge the police. You know, we got scriptures on that as well, man, which we're gonna get to in a bit. But you know what I mean? Do we need to live better? Yes, we do, man. We need to be a people that are so righteous that a policeman wouldn't even do it. How we love each other, how we don't abuse drugs, how we don't sell drugs. A policeman go, well, why are we following them? Even though I want to do this black man wrong, what can I say? They live so good. What can I do? Like, okay, if I do take his life, what am I gonna say? Why? Because we live so good. But at the moment, what can they say? I thought he had a gun. He had drugs on him. I could smell weed. And them things, they use that to get away with their wrongs. So what does that mean for us? We can't do those wrongs.
God.
Those wrongs they accuse us of and get away with it. We can't do those wrongs, man. Put the weed down, man.
Right.
Then when a police officer harassing you, like, listen, I don't even smoke. What are you talking about, man?
God.
Imagine if all of us didn't smoke. That, you know, I can smell weed. Like, they could never use that anymore, man.
Right.
Do you know how much time they use that to stop and search people? You know, I could smell a whiff of weed in the car. So sorry, guys, I gotta search the car. I gotta search you.
Right.
For our sins, man. From there, right, let's get into some vengeance for time's sake. Fun. Oh, so
Khan, I was just another one. Khan. Here Israel, the commandment of life. Give ear to understanding, wisdom. How happeneth it? Salakia, shall I read verse 10?
Live this book right here. This manual is in this Bible. There's wisdom. What does wisdom even mean, man? Something that can make you wise.
Right.
Some information that can make you wise. And this Bible has all the information to make all of us wise, man. To make us so wise, a policeman wouldn't even stop us again, man. And if he did, it better have a good reason why.
Right.
You know what I mean? Instead of the eyes being on us, the eyes would be on him. Like, why did you stop these wise people for, man? What are you doing, officer? You know what I mean? Anytime he was to harass and throw one of us on the floor unlawfully, it'd be like, well, why? These people are so wise. Look at how good they live. What was you thinking, man? The eyes would be on him, but because we don't live according to wisdom, what happens? The eyes are in us. You know, man, he's a criminal. You know, he was part of a gang. Can't.
Salakia, yeah, can I read verse 10?
Yeah, sure.
Can. How happeneth it, Israel, that thou art in thine enemy's land, that thou art...
So imagine that. How happened it that thou are in thy enemy's land? Now, of course, why? God knows why he did it. We're saying, like, how happened it? Like, what happened to make us be in our enemy's land? What happened to make us be in England, man? What happened to make us be Amsterdam? How happened it that we are in our enemy's land? And that's key. Those that go, you know, white people ain't our enemies. God says they're your enemies, man.
Right.
Let's reason it. How happened it that thou art in thine enemy's land? God calls them enemies.
That's right.
You want to call them your friend. Listen, God calls them your enemies, and they are your enemies, man.
God.
There's an article of the that died. Listen to what his woman said. She's his enemy, man. You couldn't love that black man and say what she said. For time's sake, he is with a white woman. Guess what she said? Anyone like to guess?
Yeah, so like she said to forgive the police.
God.
There you go. Do you know what I mean? She's his enemy, man.
Right.
He was sleeping with the man. Why? Because if you love someone, the people that took his life, you'd want vengeance. You'd
That's
want
right.
them to get locked up. What did
Mhm.
she do? Forgive the police. She hated that black man.
Hmm.
That black man who she was having sex with, she hated him. Because
That's
why?
Right.
He's dead, and you're like, oh, just forgive
Mhm.
the police. That's an enemy right there, man. He
That's
was
right.
having sex with the enemy,
Khan.
and he didn't even know it.
Mm.
Read on.
Khan, another one, Khan. That thou art waxed old in a strange country, that thou art defiled
Oh, sorry,
with the dead.
and all right, so that we are waxing old in a strange country. England is a strange country, man.
Right.
We don't belong here. That's what makes it strange. Like what on the ends on Friday gone, Ito, the brother that was doing the interview, so that was being interviewed. He said it. He goes, really, no West Indian. Their plan was to live in England. The
Mhm.
agreement was 5 years, then go back. But what happened?
Yeah.
When we got here, we were so poor we couldn't afford to go back.
Right.
And that's how waxing old in a strange land. We're not here because we want to be. We're here
Mm.
because we got no choice. We're too
Khan.
poor to go back. And those that stayed and had kids don't know Jamaica, don't know Trinidad, don't know
Mm.
Montserrat, don't know Grenada, Antigua. We don't know these places.
Right.
That's why England is a strange land to us.
Mm.
It's strange. We're not meant to be here. Imagine that. Now, think about it. A country is advertising work. You come here to work, and the jobs are so crap, you can't even afford to go back.
Hmm.
You're paying £3 a month for a room, not even a house. You're working jobs, getting damn near next to nothing, man. And there's no money for you to go back. That's why
Right.
we're waxing old in a strange land, growing old in a land that's strange to us.
Mm.
And what's the other part? Thou art defiled with the dead, meaning we're unclean, man, with the
Yeah.
dead, meaning how we live. It's like we're dead. Like if someone's like, if you walk to a room and you find someone who died, you are unclean. How we're treated in England is like we're defiled, dead, man.
Khan.
Mark Duggan shot. Why? Because that in that police officer's eyes, Mark Duggan defiles with the dead. He's nothing, man.
Mm.
Right.
Sean Charles, a police officer, put him on his back and shoved his hand down his throat, man. And he died in that shop. That is someone that looks at black people like we are defiled among the dead, meaning we're nothing, man. Looks at a black life as it's nothing, it's worth like whatever, man. No one cares about them anyway. I can do what I want. So what does this mean for us? We need to care about each other, man.
That's right.
I mean, all that black on black crime, all of that nonsense needs to stop, man.
Mm.
Okay, as what Hadassah said, they get loans left, right, and center for anything, and bail out just as quick, man. It's true. I watched some shows where get damn their credit cards are like 20 grand, max it, and then I'm bankrupt. I can't pay it. And when you take them to court, we're bankrupt now, and they get away with it. But for time's sake, let's get Luke 18:1.
18 or 8.
18.
It's like Luke 18:1.
Khan. Luke. Still not got it yet. Luke chapter 18, verse 1. And he spake a parable unto them to his end, that men ought always.
Oh, so now, what does it mean by he spake unto them to this end? Meaning, there's a point he's making. So, with this parable, it's not a literal woman, and like a judge. There's a point he's making.
God.
There's a point. It's not, you know what I mean? This ain't literal. Like many parables in the Bible, they're not literal. A sower ain't sowing seeds and throwing them on grass. It's a parable, meaning it's an analogy for something else. But with this one, he done it to this end, meaning there was a point he was trying to make. Read on.
Canada and Khan. To the end that men ought always to pray and not to faint, saying
That men always pray, so like that men always to faint not. That was the point of the parable right here. That men don't get weak. Why did Christ have to encourage men not to get weak? Because of how much times black people die, man.
right,
Because of black on black crime, because of knife crime. But Christ said, I gotta break this one down just to not make men get weak, man. Because without the Bible, without the knowledge of God, everyone would be weak, man.
Right.
And what happens when you get weak? You turn to drugs, man.
Khan.
You start to beat your wife. You start to, just live reckless and become a drunkard. Why? Because you're weak, you faint. But Christ had to, break something down to us to not make us get weak, so that we'll pray and remain strong. Because how black people live now with all the black on black crime, police brutality, we need to be strong. And Christ made sure what he laid down would keep us strong. Read on.
Canada and Khan. Saying, there was in a city, Salakia, there was in a city a judge which feared not God, neither regarded man. And there.
So now, in the start of this, in a city, there was a judge which feared not God, neither regarded man, meaning this man ain't scared of God and he doesn't respect no man. He's a judge that, listen, he doesn't care about nobody, man. Read on.
And there was a widow in that city, and she came unto him, saying, avenge me of mine adversary. And he would not.
So now this widow that came to this judge that feared not God, nor regarded any man, meaning didn't respect nobody. This widow came to him like, avenge me of my adversaries, avenge me of us, man, avenge us of slavery, man, avenge me of my adversaries. What's an adversary? People that make your life hard, man. Adversary, adverse, when things are hard. That's what an adversary is. Someone that makes things difficult for you. And our oppressor, he's made our life difficult, man.
That's right.
Slavery was difficult, man. Being forced to follow his God, that was difficult, man. White police officers killing us, that made our life difficult, man. And this widow's like, avenge me of my adversaries. Read on.
Canada and Khan. And he would not for a while, but afterward he said within himself, though I fear not God, nor regard man, yet because this widow troubleth me, I will avenge her, lest by her.
Now imagine that. Now, this is the analogy. This judge don't respect no one, and she's begging him, and she's asked so much. This judge that doesn't respect no one's like, listen, because you're asking me so much, I'll avenge you. Imagine that. This guy who doesn't respect no one, because she's troubling him so much. She's like, listen, man, I'll avenge you of your adversaries. Now imagine this. This judge doesn't respect no one, doesn't fear God. Now with Christ, he loves us. Christ fears God, man. So what will Christ do for us, man? If this judge done it because he was annoyed with her, imagine if we pray day and night. What will Christ ask of the Most High to do for us, man?
Right.
He's killing us. and we pray day and night, what would God do for us? This judge was a man that didn't care about no one, and he helped her, and we got someone in heaven that loves us. What would he do for us, man?
Right.
The God of heaven and earth, what would he do for us? If this judge would do it for her, imagine what God would do for black people, man. Imagine what God would do for Hispanics and Native Indians, man.
Right.
Read on.
Kanarankan. I will avenge her, lest by her continual coming, she weary me.
So
And the
so
Lord,
now he's like, listen, man. It's like it's now. If I don't do it, she's gonna wear me out, man. Every day I'm gonna hear her voice. Please avenge me. Please avenge me. It's like, listen, I don't want you to wear me out, so I'm gonna do it, man. Now, what's the point of this? Read on.
Kanarankan. And the Lord said, hear what the unjust judge saith, and shall not God avenge his own elect, which
What did the
cry
Bible say?
day and night unto him? And shall not
there,
God
man.
avenge his own elect?
And there, man, God's gonna avenge his own elect. Who is the
That's
elect?
right.
Black people, man.
God.
God's gonna avenge his people, man, for what police have done to us, for slavery, for
Right.
oppression, mentally, physically, systematically, educational wise, man. All the oppression we've been through, God's going to avenge it, man. God is going to avenge black people. This judge, he was tired, man. Like, listen, she's annoying me. God loves us. How much more is God going to avenge black people, man?
Right.
That's right.
How much is God going to pay back our oppressor on our behalf, man? How much more? Because we pray like, Lord, how long, man? How long am I going to be enslaved in England? How long am I going to receive racial abuse, man? I spoke to someone yesterday, man, and they were telling me that accidentally hit someone's car, and they called them like it was a man and woman. The argument, like, you effing nigga, this and that. You think God's not gonna avenge that? That's how much God loves black people, man. One day, something's gonna happen to them. That same car you hit, they're gonna crash that into a light pole, man, and both of them dead, man.
That's right.
They're gonna one day fall asleep while driving. And guess what? That car's going down the grass on some verge. And guess what? It's gonna get burnt up, man. God's gonna avenge his people, man. You know, people go, oh, it's so sad. God does it, man.
That's right.
Read on.
Kanarankan. And shall not God avenge his own elect, which cry day and night unto him, though he bear long with them?
And there you go, man. Shall not God avenge his own elect, which cry unto him day and night? And when it says cry, it doesn't literally mean to cry. It means to shout loud. If you look it up. So meaning we're praying, shouting like, you know what I mean? Let loose all the plagues. You know what I mean?
Right.
Like what we say, man. We say that day and night, and God's like, I got to avenge these people.
God.
How much they're asking for it, I've got to do it, man. It's the right thing to do. Look at what they're going through, man. Look at that oppression, and no one cares, man.
Right.
No one bats an eyelid. You think other nations don't know? Like, to be fair, police do tend to kill, harass black people. But what do they think? Well, it's not me, so whatever.
Right.
You know what I mean? And that's how every nation thinks. And God's gonna avenge everybody, man.
That's
Right.
You
right.
know, in the church, they make you feel being black doesn't mean nothing. When in the same Bible they claim to read, being black means everything, man. And God's
That's
gonna
right.
avenge you. The same people no one cares about, God cares about them, and God's gonna avenge us, man. This whole earth is going to suffer for what they've done to black people in the ghetto, man. That black woman trying to pay the rent, looking after her kids, God's gonna avenge you, man. For what your boss does to you, for what happens to you, man, when you get racially abused, when police are harassing us, God is going to avenge his own elect. Read on.
Go another one, Khan. I tell you that he will avenge them speedily. Nevertheless, when the Son of Man cometh, shall he find faith on the earth?
And there you go, man. When the Son of Man cometh, shall he find faith on the earth? Why does it say that? Remember, it said don't faint. Meaning, when Christ returns, is he going to even find faith on the earth? Meaning, what black people are going to go through when he returns, will faith even be on the earth? Meaning,
Right.
for how much we're going to die and be oppressed, many people are going to lose their faith.
Right.
When Christ returns, shall he find faith on the earth? Meaning, sure, because what he knew we would go through, it was damn near hard to even find faith, man.
Right.
Christ knew that black people died by the hands of policemen. Christ knew that, we would be oppressed in every section of this earth, man. Every sector, systematically, financially, economically. We will be a nation of people oppressed in every way possible. And Christ said, when I return, damn, will I even find faith on the earth? You know what I mean? Will I even find it? Because what people are going to go through, many of them might even lose their faith, man.
Right.
You know what I mean? And Christ, he knew, man. You know what I mean? And that's why in the UPK, we are that faith, man.
That's right.
We hold on to that faith. Because without this, what would we have, man? Without this, the church can't help you. Black people die all the time, and your pastor doesn't have an answer. You go in the mosque, they blame black people, and I'm not making it up. I had a little debate with a black man that followed Islam one time, and I wasn't alone. I can't remember who I was with. And we asked him, so why do black people die so much for do, man? You know what I mean? Why isn't it in the earth? We ain't at the top. Guess what this black man said? Because we're lazy. Because we're lazy, man. That's something we have to admit. And that's what Islam implants in his mind.
Right.
He doesn't believe that. But when you follow a slave religion and they don't think highly of you, what do? Put in your mind, it's your fault, man. You black people are nothing. In the church, they damn near say the same thing. It's the black man's fault. He needs to get a job and this and that. You mean the whole earth blames you for your issues when it's not your fault? Slavery is the reason, man.
That's right.
Being oppressed in every way, financially, economically. You know what I mean? You do know for a black person to get a loan is harder than a white person. That is slavery right there.
Right.
That white man gets that loan. You know what I mean? He buys a house, starts a business. If I don't have the same opportunities, then I'm oppressed. It's my fault. And guess what? Religion, because the thing's so low at black people, everything's your fault, even when it's obviously not your fault, man. So that's the class. I'm gonna hand it over to priest and officer of 5,000, Karafia.
Okay, that's class. I.S.U.P.K security announcements. With the I.S.U.P.K flying up 1 West, 125th Street, Holland, New York, under command of General GEN.YAHANNA. Rule for a new brother and sister. The new brother or sister coming to school. They are off limit for 6 months. They are to be saluted only. They are here to shut themselves up off the road. If they need transportation, the teacher will arrange it. After 6 months of a brother or sister having an interest in a particular person, he or she must get permission from the head to speak to a brother or sister. There's another 6 months in which the brother and sister will call each other. After the 6-month period, the brother and sister will get permission from the head to marry. Time, which is the commandment, Numbers 18:21, Malachi 3:10, Miss 10 from the Hebrew Ma'ashara. Every penny of any increase the Lord gives you, give to the treasury department or the teacher. Freeze fund, free will offer for priest, not mandatory. Whatsoever amount you like. Upcoming holy convocations is first fruits, which is in June after Bar. Or I can check the bulletin board in the hallway, which is all I.S.U.P.K social media. Anyone who's been treated in school with all black, like boots, shirt, pants, head by the headscarf. I mean, I imagine.
Habanawa,
Shabbat Shemayim,
Bar Shemayim,
Kodash,
Shadash,
Hayah,
Hayab,
Shamkar,
Shamkar,
Yahweh,
Yahweh,
Malach Bavkar,
Malach Bavkar,
Taba'ah,
Taba'ah,
Ratzaka,
Ratzaka,
Hayah,
Hayab,
Aisha,
Aisha,
Ba'aratza,
Baratza,
Kawal,
Kabul,
Hayah,
Hayab,
Bar Shemayim,
Bar Shemayim,
Nafaninawa,
Nafananawa,
Nakam,
Nakam,
Cow,
Cow,
Yuwam,
Yawam,
Wasalaknawa,
Wasalachnawa,
Kabawafnawa,
Kabawafnawa,
Kasalaknawa,
Kasalachnawa,
Kabawafnawa,
Kabawafinawa,
Wala'ah,
Wala'ah,
Tabi'ainawa,
Tabaya'ayanawa,
one,
one,
Abol,
Abod,
Awashinawa,
Kabashanawa,
Mayon,
Mayon,
Right,
Right,
Kaya,
Hayab,
Lakar,
Nakar,
Hamalakwa,
Hamalakwa,
Waha'ala,
Waha'ala,
Wahapapara,
Hafapara,
La'awalamya,
Iwalamyam,
Aman,
and in the English, our Father,
our Father,
which art in heaven,
which art in heaven,
hallowed be thy name.
hallowed be thy name,
Thy kingdom come.
thy kingdom
Thy
come,
will be done
thy will be done
in earth
in earth
as it is in heaven.
as it is in heaven.
Give us this day
Give us this day
our daily bread,
our daily bread,
and forgive us our debts
and forgive us our debts
as we forgive our debtors,
as we forgive our debtors,
and lead us not
and lead us not
into temptation,
into temptation,
but deliver us from evil.
from evil.
For thine is the kingdom,
For thine is the kingdom,
and the power,
and the power,
and the glory forever.
forever.
So be it.
So and with that, we're going to give one case to speak to the teacher. Men of Israel, Admanim Shabbat, Admanim, Barak, Yahweh, Yajamata, class dismissed.
Yahweh Shem HaShabbat.